We are going to continue with the belts. The belts are one of my favorite parts, but also where favorite parts are, there are also going to be some little bit annoying parts. And one of them is trying to get the belts right in here and get them as best as possible. And also thinking about it, both belts needs to have exact the same length. Later on, we are going to adjust it. But for now, you have to make sure that the belt have the same length. But also in the manual, it says exactly how to do it. So let's do the AB belts. AB belts, yeah, really. That's what it's called right here. This is going to be the carriage that I'm going to use. It is the metal part that came with the thigh bore metal structure frame part. And it's nice, it's metal. In the instruction, it says to remove the support. Well, I don't need to do that, but also here are the nuts. So I don't need to preload the nuts because here are some threads in there. So the first thing that we are going to do, M3x8 flathead cap screw. They are right there. And I need only 2 of them. These are the flathead cap screws. So that you know, we are taking the T-nuts as well. Yeah, I don't mind cutting on my desk. It's a work desk. I do certain things on my desk. I only need 2. There are 3 of them in there. No reason why. So on the threaded nuts, there are some rounded edges and sharp edges. So the part with the sharp edges I will put on the so the round edges I have on the top, so facing inwards, and the sharp edges where the belt is going underneath, so when you are going to tighten it, that it is nice and sharp. So the belt in the LDO Voron kit, the V0.2 kit from LDO, there is a belt that is 4 meters long. I don't know how much that I will need, but I need to have at least 2 meters. So in the instruction, just read it carefully. So start with equal belt length. Having both belts with the exact same length will ensure that you can set proper tension later on. Starting at one end, line the 2 belts, run together, meshing their teeth like a zipper. The other end will be most likely unequal. In one cut, trim the ends of both belts together to get them equal length. Before you start routing, you will need 1 meter of belt for each run. Belt number 1. So this one I will cut together like that. Then holding them together as one whole. So the whole idea is, what I believe, is to hold them together like this and then cut them so that you have exactly equal length and not that you are going to sit between 2 teeth of the belt. So I believe that that is the whole idea of it. Basically, if you look at it, it's a little bit more than 1 meter. So what we are going to do now, instead of, I think in the old instruction it was like you are installing it right on there and then fingers crossed that everything was going fine. So now they say exactly what to do. And also they say running the belts, thread the ends of the belt through the X carriage like so. Use a pick tool can be helpful here, beginning tightening the screw on one of the maker beam nuts. It is the easiest to attach one end of each belt, run them through the printer and then thread the other end to the X carriage part and then beginning the tensioning process. Before we run the belts, make sure your tensioner knobs are as loose as possible and your motor as far outside of the printer as they can be. So these should be loose, and your motor should be all the way to the other side, so facing outwards, that direction and that direction. So I'm going to put the first belt in there. Yeah. Just like this. Now I'm going to put the second belt in there. So, just like that. Now I'm going to tension this part. So, this is the first part, just like this. And on the back side it looks like this. And then make sure that they are all straight. This one is belt A, this is belt B. So first we are going to do belt A. We are going to start from here. So what I'm going to do, I have the M2 screws here. Okay, there's a reason why I put the carriage already on here, so that I don't have to pay any attention to the carriage itself, and that I can fully focus on the timing belt. So we take a hex key, a smaller one, and we just like this, and then it goes around here. Think about it, it goes through the whole machine, then goes here. Then we are going to make a little loop. We are going to push it out of it to put it around the pulley. Now we turn the printer around, hold the belt just like this, and we are going to look for the next possibility to go back to the carriage. And just like that. So that part is done. Now we are going to take this one and we are going to do the B path. Keep it simple. Turn the printer around. Make sure to have the belt correctly. So here the belt goes directly in here. Over the pulley on this side, put it all the way out so that the belt is without any loop. Turn the printer around. Skipping the motor part here, we are turning the printer around, going to the next motor. We are making here a little loop again, taking the screwdriver, trying to get the belt over the pulley, then around here, and then going back from there. Keep tension on the belt, or maybe not. Take a screwdriver, just like that. So we have two belts sticking out, and here the length is pretty much the same. Now we are going to pull a little bit so that the carriage is in the middle. So now we are going to take the carriage off again. So taking the carriage off. This is the part that is going to be pretty annoying, because there are already belts running through the hole, and now you need to add two more to it. So now the belt is in there. Now I need to attach it right over here, what I already did, basically. So now the carriage is secured, and now we are probably going, yeah, they say to use thread locker, but I don't have any thread locker. Yeah, AB belt tensioning 110 hertz at 150 millimeters. I don't have something like that. You can use a tuning app on your smartphone to measure the frequency of the belt when the gantry is in a fixed position. So do they mention to tension it? Once you have the belt sufficiently tight by hand. Okay, so I also need to tension the belt now. So to do that, I'm going to take a plier and I'm going to put the carriage all the way to the back. So all the way to the back. So a little bit loose. If you hear the maker beam drop, you know that it is too loose. So now we are going to do the second one. First I did the upper one, the B belt pad, and now I'm going to grab both of the ends for A, and I'm going to hold it in place like this, and then I'm going to pull on it as well, as far as possible. Check if the belt is running everywhere the same. Belts all the way tight. I need to tension the belts. They say like 110 hertz, so I need to download an app. So that part I had to do off camera because it was really weird. You need to download an app for tuning the I almost want to say guitar strings, but you need to have a 110 hertz on both sides. They suggest in the manual to go for something like a guitar app for your smartphone. So guitar app to tune your guitar, and in this case you are going to use it to, you know, tuning your belts of a 3D printer. So basically don't touch the printer, just the belt, and try to get this ping sound, and it's 110 hertz, and it is, in my opinion, pretty low. But here in the instructions says like we are looking for 110 hertz in these locations. They say like 110 hertz at 150 millimeters. Where's the 150 millimeters? I don't know. They also mention here in the manual how important it is to have everywhere the same belt tension. Skew and tool head and gantry, it should all align. Everything should be spot on in order to make sure that everything is as it's supposed to. So my belts are tensioned, and we are going to cut these parts off. You don't really need to, but in most of the cases this is going to happen, that these little parts are in the way. So I'm going to cut them away with a little plier. Look, what a small belt. Can you run something with that? No. Maybe for a future project, I don't know.